gentlemen, I would like to call to order the 332nd meeting of the City of Laurel Board of Appeals. May I have a roll call, please, Sarah?
Mrs. Collins?
Here.
Mr. Whitley? Mr. Lee?
Here.
Mrs. Les?
Here.
Chairwoman Chanot?
Here.
You have a quorum, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. I know everybody is anxious to get in and out, so we're just going to buzz right through to get to you, all right? Item number 2 is approval of the minutes from the May 28th meeting. Do I have any objections or corrections to the minutes? If not, may I have a
Motion.
Thank you, a motion.
Seconded.
Thank you.
You made the motion,
I
right?
can make the motion, that was motion.
I was just helping her with her.
Sound like when you said motion, I thought you made it.
Yeah, I was helping her, she was having trouble
Blah,
getting the
blah.
word out, but
Sorry.
I'd make a motion that we pass the minutes as presented.
Seconded.
Mrs. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Les?
Yes.
Chairwoman Chanot?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Item number 3 on our agenda is special exception application number 845-7815 and 7911 Braygreen Road, filed by Royalhouse Chapel International. May I have a reading of the record, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
All right.
Special exception application number 845 was filed on February 2nd, 2015 by Royalhouse Chapel International Co. The law offices of Shipley and Horn to operate a house of worship in E3 Community Center to be located at 7815-7911 Braygreen Road that focuses on community development programs for individuals and families. The property is zoned ICS Industrial Commercial Services. On February 5th, 2015, a request asking for comments was sent to the City of Laurel Department of Public Works, Department of Parks and Recreation, Laurel Police Department, and Office of the Fire Marshal, Maryland State Highway Administration, Prince George's County Health Department, Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation, Washington Suburban Sanitarian Commission, Maryland Department of Planning, and Prince George's County Public Schools. On February 6, 2015, the City of Laurel Police Department submitted a response stating that the department had no objections to the application but wished to complete a walkthrough of the building prior to the issuance of the use and occupancy permit in order to get a pre-plan developed in the event of an emergency. Further, the department expressed concern regarding the intersection of Braygreen Road and Route 1 and the traffic leaving to go north on Route 1 from the site. On February 13, 2015, the City of Laurel Department of Parks and Recreation submitted a response stating that the department had no comment except concerns for traffic issues during certain times of the week on Route 1. A response was received from the City of Laurel Department of Public Works dated February 13, 2015. The department recommended having a meeting with the Transportation and Public Safety Commission to discuss the construction of a right turn only island on Braygreen Road. The island would be a possible solution to eliminate the illegal left turns onto US northbound. The Maryland State Highway Administration submitted a response dated March 18, 2015, where SHA concurred with the applicants to recommend to enhance the no left turn signage in order to better support the westbound left turn prohibition on Braygreen Road at US 1. Based on the comments and concern of city departments, the application was sent for review and recommendation to the City of Laurel Transportation and Public Safety Committee. On May 21st, 2015, the City of Laurel Transportation and Public Safety Committee reviewed and met regarding the proposed plan. The committee submitted a memorandum dated May 27, 2015, where members of the committee ultimately agreed and recommended to have the apron exit reshaped at Baltimore Avenue and Braygreen Road to make the exit a south turn only exit onto Baltimore Avenue, along with the installation of proper signage noting right turn only. Because of the comments from staff, outside agencies, and a recommendation of the City of Laurel Transportation and Public Safety Committee, the applicant revised and resubmitted a site plan and supporting plans reflecting request changes and upgrades to the proposed traffic island on Braygreen Road. On May 6, 2015, a notice of the filing of the application was sent to all contiguous property owners. All return receipts were received with the exception of 3 properties that have been made a part of the official record. The file contained a certificate of publication verifying that this application in public hearing was advertised as required by law in the June 4th, 2015 edition of the Prince George's Centennial. A memorandum for the City of Laurel Planning Commission to the Board of Appeals dated June 10th, 2015 reads as following. At the regular meeting of the City of Laurel Planning Commission held on June 9th, 2015, the following action was taken on the subject zoning application. Mrs. Holland made a motion to recommend approval, a special exception application number 845 to the Board of Appeals with the conditions listed in the technical staff report, and that the applicant work with staff to alter the proposed exit island in such a manner as to increase the height, width, length, and or depth to increase public safety by further deterring drivers making the legal left turn from Braygreen Road onto US Route 1. Mr. Kish seconded the motion. Roll call continued with Mr. Wilford voting no and Chairman Ben cast the final vote of yes. That concludes the reading of the file, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you.
The applicant,
Thank you.
as stated in the reading, the applicant, Royalhouse Chapel International, they're currently located in Hyattsville. They're a congregation of about 400 members. They're planning, if approved, to relocate to the Braygreen Road area to operate a house of worship church as well as a community center where the programs will focus for children, educational programs for children and families and other type of programs. The property is currently zoned ICS, Industrial Commercial Services. It was annexed into the city in 2005. Since its annexation and even before the annexation, the property has remained vacant. On January 12, 2015, a text amendment 234 ordinance number 1810 was approved to allow house of worships in the ICS zone by special exception. If approved, the applicant plans to rehab the property to make it fit for a 700-seat sanctuary and then a 50,000 square foot community center with on-site parking. And the applicant plans to provide 253 on-site parking spaces, and the parking spaces required for the use is for the churches 175 and for the community centers 166, and those uses they don't plan to operate at the same time. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Appeals approve special exception application number 845 with the following conditions. The applicant engineer must meet with the City of Laurel Department of Public Works staff to address the site plan issues and resubmit the site plan for public works approval and signature by the Board of Appeals chairwoman. The applicant must obtain proper permits before renovations and operations can begin. Prior to issuance of a use and occupancy permit, the chief of police or his designee must conduct a walkthrough of the property in order to prepare an exit plan in case of an emergency. The applicant shall obtain State Highway Administration approval to construct an island and pedestrian crosswalk with appropriate width, length, and specifications of SHA. The applicant must submit engineering plans to SHA in order to determine if an access or district permit will be required for the island enhancements. The island shall have sleeves placed in the concrete so that the stop sign, no left turn sign, and delineators can be installed. The delineators shall be installed per SHA and Department of Public Works requirements. The applicant shall receive proper approvals from the City of Laurel Department of Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of staff right now? No? Okay. On our sign-up sheet, we have one speaker, Mr. Bradley Farrar.
Yes,
Would you come to the podium and give us your name and address, please?
yes, absolutely. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Bradley Farrar. My address is 1101 Mercantile Lane, Suite 240, Largo, Maryland 20774. I'm attorney for the applicant, Royalhouse Chapel International. We've worked with the staff to come up with the text amendment and the conditions. We work with them very diligently. We're in concurrence with all of those conditions, and we look forward to the development of the site. So with that, are there any other questions?
Just out of curiosity, how long do you think it'll take from beginning to end? Once you get it approved?
I don't know if you can.
In terms of
Construction to the end result, to an operational facility.
well, obviously, a lot of things depend on.
I guess we need you to come up and give us your name and address since
This
you're
is
speaking.
Paul. He's the lead architect on the project.
Well, then he should know. Hi, Paul.
My name is Neil Paul. I'm a principal with Bicknell Watkins House Architects, and we're architects for the church. I think that the reason why it's a little bit hard to give you a hard number, can give you a guess, is that there's certain things that the fire marshal wants beyond improvement, beyond aesthetics, it's systems upgrade. And so we're walking those things through with the city now, trying to figure out, well, so it affects what's, it
Right, well, you're
helps us to prioritize those things. So,
Yes, you're housing a lot of people.
right, so I would think, throw a number out there, 3 months, 4 months,
To completion?
to do, well, to do interior work, to upgrade some of those items, to get some of the site ready. A lot of it isn't heavy renovation work. For instance, we aren't cutting openings in the walls of the building. A lot of it is interior work. So I think even, there's some things that can happen even after the church gets in terms of upgrade, that could still happen. Painting of walls, finished carpentry, all those things can still happen after the church has already occupies the space. So my best guess is that it could be 4 months.
Okay, thank you.
Is the church and the community center, are they in the same building?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's the same from a code standpoint. It is one building,
Okay.
but it's different portions.
Separated. And it looks like the community center is only going to operate 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday?
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And what will they be doing during
So in
that?
the afternoons, it's essentially in the afternoons they'll have classes, tutoring sessions, training sessions for children and adults who might need job training or computer skills training. So that's what they'll be doing, life skills and other types of education. And then, from what I understand, they'll also have some fitness classes as well.
Maybe like a basketball court or something in there? or-
Now, I think initially, the initial plans are to have not basketball, but other like Zumba, and
Okay.
Pilates, yoga, that type of thing. Stress management and blood pressure management, those types of
Okay.
Oh, good, I'll come.
Will you
Right.
have any evening activities?
No, there won't be any evening activities. So the E3 Center will close, the community center will close at 6 o'clock.
It looks like the only evening would be to have a service on Fridays from 7 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with the church activities.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee?
No, I don't have any questions.
No questions?
No, one of the rare times.
Yes, very unusual. Well, board members, if we have no other questions of Mr. Farrar, I guess you may be seated.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion, or does someone want to make a motion? You really?
I'm
Go ahead.
ready.
We're ready.
I hereby move that we adopt the findings of fact and conclusion of law as outlined in the technical staff report and move for approval of the, I guess this would be the second resolution of number 15-05 DOA.
The application.
First, you
Okay.
can combine the special exception and the resolution together in one motion.
That's right here.
Okay, all right.
So
In there.
special exception 845.
Special exception 845-7815 and 7911 Braygreen Road, and the resolution number 15-05.
Yes.
I move that we approve.
Second.
Second.
Yes, do we need to make sure we include that we approve as long as the conditions are followed that were sent down by the council?
That's why I said the second
Okay.
one, but if we want to make it clearer, I meant should I have used the term amended?
You can say as presented for the resolution.
As
Okay.
presented for the resolution.
Okay.
Okay, we're at the same thing.
All right, then, we have it all. Good.
We got it.
Okay, we got it.
Mr. Lee,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Mrs. Collins,
Yes.
Chairwoman Shanot,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Gentlemen, good luck. I'm sure it'll be an asset to the community, and if we can do anything to help, the staff is there. You're welcome. Good night. Is there anything else that we need to talk about at the board? Anything special going on? Oh, right, there are some, yeah, there were murmurs on the streets and everything about it, good gosh.
Well, as you know, there's been an appeal of the Wawa. It was filed timely. At this point, all it is all you have to do in the state of Maryland is note your appeal. There's no grounds stated for it yet. It's just merely the notation of an appeal. We received, I think, the copy a week ago Friday, and we've now done what we have to do, and that is notify all the parties of record that an appeal has been filed, so that they have the opportunity, if they want to become parties of record in the appeal. The way the process goes is we now have the responsibility of turning the record over to the circuit court, which Sarah is in the process of doing, putting it together, and she and I will go through the record and make sure it's complete. We have 60 days to do that and send it to the court, and then we have to certify to the court. At the time we file it, we put a certification on the top that this certifies that this is the entire record before the Board of Appeals. So we're in the process of getting a transcript made of both meetings, the meeting at which the argument was held and the meeting at which you approved the resolution and the minutes. So we will have a court reporter do that. And then, of course, we'll be using the transcripts to utilize that to create our argument. Once the record is filed, the court then sends a notification to the appellant's attorney that the record has been filed. He then has 30 days to file his memorandum on appeal. And that's when he gets into the guts of what he's appealing and what his grounds for the appeal are.
Goodness gracious.
Then we have 30 days to respond. He has 15 days to file a second memorandum responding to our arguments. We have 15 days to respond to his, and then it's set for a hearing in front of the circuit court. So
it could go into next year.
oh, it's going to definitely go into next year. But I've told the mayor, even though I'm retiring, I will argue the case. So I'm not going to let this one go. So
So is Carol's empty now? Are they out?
I don't
They're
know,
not?
to tell you the truth. I don't know. That's between the landlord and Carol's.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they had closed shop yet, but.
I had heard an awful lot of their business was internet, and
Oh, really?
yeah, they weren't doing an awful lot of business out of that site. Most of the business that I've seen going in and out of that site is that
Bank.
ATM
bank
machine.
ATM. So I don't know what the story is. They're not under any, to my knowledge, they're not under any duty to close down unless the landlord has required that. You know, subsequent to the special exception being granted, I don't know whether Wawa will move forward. The fact that it's been appealed will not keep us from issuing a permit. It's just that permit is issued at the risk of Wawa should it be the approval be overturned by the court. I frankly don't expect that to happen. You know, I've looked at the record. I'm pretty sure that as an attorney, I think this one we should win this one. But again, I hate to curse a case like that by saying we should win it, but there is quite a bit of evidence in the record, and really there's a whole line of case law that says that the court's not there to substitute its judgment for that of the administrative body, so long as there's substantial evidence in the record as a whole that on which the administrative body could make the decision that they made. And there's certainly substantial evidence in this record, especially since the only expert testimony in the record came from the applicant and was relied upon by you all, and that's their market study and the needs study in granting the special exception. So that's the first part of the argument that I'm going to make in front of the court. You know, the argument is who appeals this? Well, it's being appealed, it's not being appealed by Joe Blow and the neighbors, it's being appealed by the other owners of gas stations, so his competitors.
Yeah.
Why is it being appealed? Well, it's being appealed because they don't want to see another gas station coming in.
Unfortunately, our system isn't built on that.
Well, that's
method
right,
at all,
that's right.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that a lawyer can't get up there and give the judge a little history lesson. So,
Do you think that Wawa would, if we issue the permits, do you think they'll go ahead and start the construction?
well, that's up to them. I have seen it happen in the past, but especially with a Wawa that doesn't go out and look for financing, you know, they self-finance this. You know, it's like 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven would do it because they're most of the new 7-Elevens are corporately owned. They don't, they don't lease a lot of the new 7-Elevens anymore. Same with McDonald's years ago. Years ago, McDonald's used to all be leased. Now they're almost all corporately owned. So it's up to the corporation as to whether they do it or not. You know, their lawyers will take a look at the case and make a determination as to whether it's one that can be lost, or, you know, anything can be lost, but,
Yeah.
you know, they can put a 70% chance, 80% chance of winning or losing, and then they can make a determination based on that.
Speaking of McDonald's, when are they gonna start doing the,
Renovation, building, raising, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen any applications come in. I haven't had anyone call yet. So as soon as I do, I'll let you guys know. But I haven't seen anything since they got their approval, permit-wise at least, or demo even. I haven't seen a demo permit.
yeah, I've seen several McDonald's that look like what they're proposing. There's
Right.
really no parking in the front, you've got the double one and a triple drive.
Yeah, there's one on the Eastern Shore.
Yes,
that
that's
they
right, that's
redid.
where I saw a
Yeah,
couple of them
yeah.
going to Ocean City and coming back. It's
Right,
like that, I
yeah.
told Jimmy, I said, that's gotta be what they're gonna model.
That's their new prototype.
Yeah.
So Bob, when are you retiring?
December
Really?
31st. So after
Jealous.
Early congratulations.
after 46 years
Wow.
of practicing law. So
Wow.
oh yeah, unless the mayor gets to me again and talks me into staying another year, which he did to me last year. Yeah. So,
Well deserved though, I mean, after 46 years.
yeah, it's a long time. It's a long time. Well, you know, the boss is after me to retire, so what can I tell you?
Exactly right.
Because she's been retired for 4 years, so I think she wants somebody to go with her on all these trips she's going without me on, so,
Oh dear. Well, then I guess you'll have to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll miss you.
I frankly don't need to go on all these trips, but, you know. Yeah,
We'll have to go on half of them at least to compromise.
that's true, Yeah, anything to keep peace in the family,
Absolutely.
Smart.
Yes.
right. But I've told the mayor, and I've told, you know, it's just like with Greenbelt and New Carrollton, you know, I still am available by phone and occasionally get involved in some issues down there, especially if they were issues that I was involved in while I was still representing the city. There's no sense reinventing the wheel. So I've told the mayor, you know, you got something that comes up that is something I've worked on or something you think I can do, I'll jump back in, so. Yeah. But I'll be in Florida for January and February, and I'll be in St. Thomas in April, so
You poor thing. I feel
just
sorry
have to
for
work around my schedule.
I guess so.
Hey,
Staff,
somebody's
make sure you
got
arrange
to
it.
do it,
Yeah.
so, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you got Skype,
FaceTime.
yeah, FaceTime, all those things, and they do work, unfortunately, so.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for the update on that, and I guess with that,
keep you informed as
Oh.
things go on.
I know you will. I
And then we have
guess,
apartments going up where the movie theater and the gym's at on Marshall Avenue, right? And apartments going up by Harris Tweeter and.
and the ones on
Well,
the river. look like they're
we haven't
also-
seen anything as far as I don't know what's going on with the apartments in town center. The other apartments are still,
I think there was something about the ones on Marshall Avenue and the
the
leader.
ones on Marshall Avenue still have there's some issues there.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say everything is set to go yet, but,
Now, the flats are done, right? Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting UNOs now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're what, about 90% complete?
Yeah.
And they said they're what, 50 or 60%
60.
pre-leased?
60 or at least.
Yeah, C Street Flats is about 90%
60%.
complete, and they're like 50
Yeah.
to 60% already leased.
Wow.
And that town center is 340 units have been approved, and they're looking to start breaking ground fairly soon.
340 units?
Wow. That lot doesn't look big enough to hold that. but-
Not with parking, no.
Yeah. See, I figured people could use that to park or sit and watch the fireworks every year. I thought that's what that was planned for.
It has
A
been
little
for
park or
years.
something, Yeah.
It has been forever.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, now you can do it in your park.
How tall are they gonna be?
Uh,
How many?
4 stories?
That's 4 stories. but I think
Stories.
there's parking
4
underneath
stories.
it.
The parking's in the center, and then it's a 4-story building.
stories.
Oh, that'll illuminate,
Hmm.
watching it from afar.
Yeah.
Well, not much taller, if at all, taller than the units across the street.
What's across the street? Yeah. What about the ones on Marshall? Are you looking at high rise or?
No, they're the same thing, they're gonna have 100, isn't it? Is it 80 or 100 spaces underneath?
For the the proposed apartments on Marshall, I think it's 180 or 190 units. But I'm not really sure about the size. I think it'll be 3-story or 4-story. Probably 4-story because the apartments will be on the parking podium, but it's still our proposed and we're still working things out, so.
Lot going on for you all.
Lot of traffic coming, lot of traffic coming. Anything
Well,
else?
you know there's a moratorium coming in because of the master plan.
So the survey wants to
Coming
get it
July
to
1.
before that
Oh, that's what,
moratorium.
Yeah, coming July
So
1, there
saying-
won't be any new zoning matters coming in or, now, special exceptions probably will not be heard either. Variances still will be and parking modifications may be, but there will be no new zoning cases, no new special exceptions for at least a year while we get through the master plan again. So,
Oh, okay, that's why we're doing them, okay.
Yeah.
moratorium.
but it's time. Based on the state law, we have until, 17 or 16 to do it? 17, but, so we're just doing it, starting it now, because it could take us a year and a half to get all the information together, in order to do it, because it's quite an effort to do a master plan for the entire city. And then we have to do a sectional map amendment, and one of the things we're gonna try to do in the sectional map amendment is correct some of the zoning that we have in the city, where we have properties that are being used residential, but they're zoned commercial, and vice versa. Try to correct them by putting the proper zoning on pieces of property like that. And we have some others which are non-conforming uses, and we're gonna look at those to see if we can give them the proper zoning without creating a problem. Because if we do it in a comprehensive plan like that, it doesn't create a precedent, so nobody surrounding them can use it as a justification to rezone their property. So this is the best way to do it from our standpoint, so we'll be looking at a lot of those things. So it's gonna take some time.
Wow.
Okay.
I saw that the cigar shop has opened, right?
Yes,
There's an article about that in the leader.
Yeah,
I haven't
it
gone
did.
by there yet.
Yeah,
it was
had-
on the leader last week.
yeah. They had balloons and stuff outside, so you could see what it is, so.
Have
Exciting.
you been there?
I haven't. Have you?
Yeah.
I should walk down, I'm close.
The only vice I didn't have.
My dad was a cigar smoker, and I have to say, I always loved the smell of it.
Yeah.
As a kid, I don't think I'd like it now, but as a
Yeah.
kid, I always loved the smell of it. Nice
I will
cigar.
smoke one occasionally, or very rarely, but I will on occasion.
Yeah,
Me too,
Yes.
really?
on occasion, yeah.
Wow.
I actually like to see women smoke cigars.
They
I
have
think it's
some.
very contemporary.
I had a great Cuban one not too long ago. It was very small, very thin, delicious.
Keeps the mosquitoes.
Well, you'll have to mosey right around there.
Yeah, I'll have to do that, I'll have to do that. All right, then with
those
that, we
neighbors
will
will raise
adjourn the
their
meeting at 7:30.
Ooh, they're from the house.
Thank you all for coming.